Hello, my similarly brainwashed viewers. Welcome back to another episode of Car, Van or Garbage, the show where we rate movies by assigning them car models or car wrecks. If the movie is for the strong and independent man, it might be a sports car, the whole family, a van of some kind. Or if nobody should see it, then we'll find a fitting car crash. So strap yourselves in, mates, because this show isn't for the faint of heart. Today we take a look at Snake in Eagle's Shadow, an older film from Hong Kong, but not yet rated by the CCP, starring Chinese Tom Cruise and directed by the guy who also worked on projects like The Deadly Poke, Discarded Nurses, and The Framework of Happiness. If you haven't seen the movie, be warned, there will be heavy spoilers. This is after all the spoiler net... they are closed on Sundays. Anyway, the movie starts by showing off Chinese Tom Cruise's ability to perform the movements the movie's about, proving that not only does he do his own stunts, but he's also able to fight the invisible enemy? I don't know. Afterwards, though, we are dropped right into the actual story with a man having to fight the main bad guy. Before he does, though, he accuses him, I think his name is Fai Zi, of killing almost anyone practicing the CCP fighting style. Let me look that up. Oh, that would be the Corobra style. Sorry, my Chinese is a bit rusty. Anyway, Fai Zi then explains his bald eagle technique can't coexist with the Corobra style and kills him. But before Corobra style guy dies, he makes it clear that as long as this mysterious Bat Vector lives, the Corobra style will keep spreading. And then we see Bat Vector catching some insects in some inn. But the owner doesn't like him hanging around upside down and tries to chase him out. By doing so, he does catch Corobra. His staff, of course, isn't unaffected either. Some have to deal with weird issues like losing their sense of smell or taste, but none of them get killed. While escaping, though, Bat Vector bumps into Wen Liang, who, after hearing that he has a Corobra, starts to realize that Bat Vector must be stopped. We cut to the Wuhan School of Kung Fu, where they are spreading new sick fighting styles in a contained environment. None of them seem too impressive though, and only do some damage if the target doesn't put up a fight. And so we meet SARS-CoV-2, an orphan, whose only friend is the cook from the wet market, who works in the back of the Wuhan School. Meanwhile, in another school, the better-nourished Kon Su-ma is shopping for a sick fighting style his own self, but after witnessing the side effects of the one offered here, he rather goes elsewhere. Coincidentally, Bat Vector sleeps in the entrance of that exact same school, and so the owner blames him for keeping customers away from his shop. Everyone is blaming Bat for the loss of business until our hero shows up to defend him. But when they realize that SARS-CoV-2 comes from the Wuhan school, they attack him too. With the help of Bat Vector, SARS-CoV-2 holds the economists in a lockdown, so to speak, until they manage to escape, while the angry mob is distracted by some hippie with long hair preaching fake morals. Back at Wuhan, Bat Vector teaches SARS-CoV-2 how to be more infective, after seeing what happened to him during an exhibition for the Fat Kid. Consumer, by the way, fully bought the staged demonstration and didn't notice that he was only told that being fat isn't a problem, so his family would waste money on placebos. After strengthening SARS-CoV-2, Bat Vector left the Wuhan school, but was tracked down by Wen Liang, who knows how dangerous he really is. Oh, and obviously the long-haired hippie turned out to be a backstabbing hypocrite. Who would have thought? Meanwhile, back at the Wuhan school, they test the new strengthened SARS-CoV-2 against the fat Kon Su-ma, who obviously doesn't stand a chance. But even though SARS-CoV-2 has become more difficult to neutralize, he isn't strong enough yet to fight non-overweight individuals. Luckily though, he runs into Bat Vector, who offers to teach him to become a threat to everyone. The training led to many misconceptions about smoking and X though, also to some cooperation in a circle. Back at the Wuhan school, SARS-CoV-2 now being able to attack with the CCP, the Corobra style, isn't even impressed by the other styles spread there. But the rest of the public has realized that the Wuhan school is responsible for the loss of business, and so they attack the people in charge, which of course damages the school's reputation badly. So when the old leader, Zhou Biden, returns, he has his hands full defending the Wuhan school he helped finance. But luckily, SARS-CoV-2 came to his rescue, and even though the Corobra style isn't deadly to an healthy adversary, the public's reaction destroyed the small business anyway. Though all this caught Fai Zi's attention, and he challenged SARS-CoV-2 to a fight, which he easily wins. He doesn't kill SARS-CoV-2 though, who almost immediately starts creating a strong variant of his previous style as a response. While all that was happening, the the Corobra style carried out by Bat Vector killed Wen Liang, the first guy who realized the Corobra threat. But eventually, Fai Zi managed to track down Bat Vector, but doesn't even manage to finish him because he gets interrupted by SARS-CoV-2, who thanks to his variant of the Corobra style has no problem defeating Fai Zi's bald eagle technique, because he had already fought it before and therefore knew how to circumvent its defenses. But unlike his opponent, SARS-CoV-2 was smart enough to kill Fai Zi, because otherwise Fai Zi would have developed an even better bald eagle technique to counter the new improved Corobra style. This could have continued endlessly. Imagine what kind of money they could have made teaching these techniques to people. Every few months, a few new booster punches added to counter the attacks of the opposing side. We have seen how badly people want to be deceived. Anyway, the bald eagle technique even has supporters who can't even benefit from it. I guess it's some kind of brainwashing or groupthink. I don't know. The movie never actually explains this. It can even make your friends who knew you your whole life try to stab or poison you. Scary shit, don't you think? But hey, it's just a movie. A Sunday's movie.
Actually, no. This is petty. I wanted to make fun of this guy's gullibility and his blind trust in his government by now showing his get vaccinated rant from a few weeks ago. But I won't. That would be like an anonymous German priding himself on gathering private information on a mentally handicapped vegan. I believe you grow with a challenge, and a piece of cake makes you fat and lazy. So instead I'm gonna look at the official German translation of the movie. I don't know if you knew this, but the German translators like to add little quips and sometimes even add whole lines when the speaking character isn't facing the camera.
Hey, what's this? You want to kill me?
Usually it's just little jokes like that, but here they added whole plot lines. Like, the guy who beats up the two lame-ass teachers is actually that guy's son in the German translation. And he fights them because they took in the fat student after he left the other school. While in the original, he's the owner of that other school and he's offended that they didn't congratulate him on his win in some tournament. But I would still consider that a minor change. In the original, the movie's about the two schools, Snake and Eagle. But in the German translation, it's about patriots fighting against the local secret service. The priest, in the original a Russian assassin hired by the Eagle School, is an undercover spy for the city magistrate in the German version. How weird is that? But then also very fitting if you bought into my loose interpretation of the movie. As you know, the whole discussion about virus and vaccine has been politicized and is now about patriotic rebels versus state loyalists. Just like in the German version of Snake and Eagle's Shadow. And just like with the movie, they added this to get the consumer more invested. In the end, this is all about money, just like everything. It's genius even. They sell you a vaccine that doesn't fully protect you, nor does it stop you from being contagious. Why do you think you are supposed to always finish the package of antibiotics? What you don't kill, you make stronger. Same here. It's basic evolution. But that's also the genius part. Since this will lead to new variants, you will need another booster shot when the next wave comes. Which, again, someone will have to pay for. And if you don't get it, you'll get ostracized from society. Or even lose your job. This is a better business model than selling heroin. Almost as good as Facebook. Oh wait, they're called digless now, right? And having no dick leads to blue balls. Anyway, you know why you were supposed to get vaccinated a few years ago, right? It was to protect the people who were unable to get vaccinated themselves. Herd immunity, it was called. I explain it all in this video. But now what do? We make the vectors of the disease symptomless, making them more dangerous to those who, because of health reasons, can't be vaccinated. And to counter that, we only allow those who are either recovered from or vaccinated against the CCP virus to take part in society and have a job. Effectively granting those unhealthy people the mercy death. Also, it's kinda hard to procreate if you aren't allowed to meet people. Just saying.
Hold it, I forgot to rate this whole thing. Since it's action for all ages, I give it a van rating. And because I like my German cars, we'll go with this one. Let's see, what model is this? Ah yes, a T4. So the rating is Aktion T4.